When Elon Musk opened his son's secret diary, the first words he read broke his heart. "Dad doesn't know I'm dying. Mom says his rockets matter more than me." 12-year-old Xander had been hiding cancer for months. But what came next shocked Elon even more. His dying son wanted to give away Dad's entire company to save other sick kids. Would the richest man on earth choose his billion-dollar empire or his son's dying wish? And what was the final secret Xander whispered that was too powerful to ever write down? Before diving in, make sure to like and comment where you're watching from. The clock on Elon's desk showed 11. The clock on Elon Musk's desk showed 11:47 p.m. Red numbers glowed in the dark office. Outside his window, the lights of Austin twinkled like tiny stars. But Elon wasn't looking at the sky tonight. He was looking at papers. Lots and lots of papers. His phone buzzed for the 100th time that day. Another message about rockets. Another question about Mars. Another meeting he needed to attend tomorrow. Elon rubbed his tired eyes. When was the last time he had gone to bed before midnight? When was the last time he had eaten dinner with his family? He couldn't remember. The house was quiet. Marina, his ex-wife, had picked up their son Xander earlier that day. Xander would stay with her for the next 2 weeks. That was how it always worked. 2 weeks with Mom, 2 weeks with Dad, back and forth like a ping-pong ball. But something felt different tonight. The house felt too quiet, too empty. Elon stood up from his desk. His back hurt from sitting all day. Maybe he should check on Xander's room before bed. Make sure everything was clean for when his son came back. He walked down the long hallway. Family pictures hung on the walls. There was Xander at age 5, missing his front teeth. Xander at age 8, holding a toy rocket. Xander at age 10, wearing his Little League uniform. Elon stopped at that last picture. He remembered that day. Xander had begged him to come to the game. But Elon had a meeting about the new Mars mission. The meeting seemed so important then. Next time he had told Xander, "Dad will come to the next game." But there had always been another meeting, another emergency, another reason to stay at work. Elon pushed open Xander's bedroom door. Moonlight came through the window. It lit up the room in silver light. Baseball trophies sat on the shelf. A model rocket ship sat on the desk. Xander had built it himself last Christmas. The bed was messy. Covers were thrown everywhere. Xander never made his bed. Marina always complained about it. "He's just like you," she would say. "Too busy thinking about big things to worry about small things." Elon smiled a little. Maybe that was true. He started to straighten the covers. Under the pillow, he found a baseball glove. Under the blanket, he found 3 toy cars. Boys and their treasures, he thought. Then he saw something under the bed. A small corner of brown leather stuck out from beneath the mattress. Elon got down on his knees. His fancy suit wrinkled on the floor. He reached under the bed and pulled out a small book. It was a diary. The leather cover was old and scratched. Someone had written Xander on the front in red crayon. The letters were crooked and childish. Elon held the diary in his hands. He knew he shouldn't open it. Diaries were private. They were full of secrets. Kids needed their secrets. But something made him curious. Xander had never mentioned keeping a diary. When did he write in it? What did a 12-year-old boy write about? Elon sat on the edge of the bed. The diary felt heavy in his hands, heavier than it should have been for such a small book. He opened to the first page. The words were written in Xander's messy handwriting. Some letters were too big, some were too small. But the words were clear enough to read. Day 1, Dad doesn't know I'm sick. The doctors told Mom, but she made me promise not to tell him. She says he has too much work to do. She says his rocket ships are more important than me. Elon's heart stopped. Sick? What doctors?
What was Xander talking about?
His hands started to shake. He turned the page. Day 2. Had to go to the hospital again today. Mom cried in the bathroom. She thought I couldn't hear her, but I could. The doctor used big words I didn't understand. But I understood when Mom asked, "How long does he have?" The diary fell from Elon's hands. It hit the floor with a soft thud. No, this couldn't be real. Xander wasn't sick, he was fine. He played baseball. He built rockets. He laughed and ran and ate too much ice cream. But the words on the page didn't lie. They sat there in red crayon, telling a truth that Elon wasn't ready to hear. He picked up the diary again. His hands were shaking so hard he could barely hold it. Day 5. The medicine makes me sleepy. I fell asleep in math class. Mrs. Johnson sent me to the nurse. I told her I stayed up too late reading. I'm getting good at lying. Day 8. Dad called tonight. He asked how I was doing. I said fine. Another lie. But Mom was watching me. She nodded when I said it. I think she's scared Dad will stop working on his rockets if he knows about me. Tears started to fall down Elon's face. Each word felt like a knife in his heart. His son was sick. His son was lying to protect him. His son thought rocket ships were more important than he was. How could he have missed this? How could he have been so blind? Elon turned more pages. The entries went on and on. Doctor visits, medicine, pain, fear, all hidden from him. Day 15. Threw up at school today. Told the teacher I ate too much breakfast. I'm running out of good lies. Day 23. Mom sold her car. She said she wanted a new one. But I heard her on the phone talking about medical bills. I think my sickness costs a lot of money. Day 28. Watched Dad on TV today. He was talking about going to Mars. He looked so happy and excited. I wonder if he'd still want to go to Mars if he knew about me. I wonder if he'd stay here instead. Elon closed the diary. He couldn't read anymore. Not right now. He sat in his son's dark room and cried. He cried for all the signs he had missed. He cried for all the times he had chosen work over family. He cried for the little boy who was fighting a battle alone. Outside, the city slept. But Elon Musk sat awake in his son's room, holding a diary full of secrets. Secrets that would change everything. He opened the diary one more time. He needed to know more. He needed to understand. The next entry was dated just 3 days ago. Day 56. I made a big decision today. I can't tell Mom about it yet. I can't tell Dad either. But I wrote a letter to someone at Dad's company. I have a plan that might help other kids like me, even if it makes Dad angry. Even if it means he'll never forgive me. Elon's blood ran cold. What plan? What had Xander done? He turned the page, but it was blank. The diary ended there. Elon looked at the clock. It was now 12:30 a.m. In just a few hours, the sun would rise on a new day. A day when everything would be different, because now he knew the truth. His son was sick. His son was scared. And his son was planning something that could change both their lives forever. Elon couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the words from Xander's diary, red crayon letters that spelled out his worst nightmare. Dad doesn't know I'm sick. At 3:00 a.m., he gave up trying to sleep. He went back to Xander's room. The diary sat on the nightstand where he had left it. Moonlight still came through the window, but now it felt cold and scary. Elon picked up the diary with shaking hands. He had to know more. He had to understand what was happening to his son. He opened to where he had stopped reading. The pages were filled with more entries. Each one broke his heart a little more. Day 30. The doctor said a big word today. Leukemia. Mom explained it means my blood is sick. She said we can fix it, but it will take time. I asked if I would still be able to play baseball. She didn't answer. Leukemia, cancer. Elon felt like someone had punched him in the stomach. His 12-year-old son had cancer, and he didn't even know. Day 45. Had another doctor visit today. They put a needle in my arm and took out blood. It hurt, but I didn't cry. Mom cried in the car after. She thinks I didn't see, but I did. The medicine makes me feel sick, but I pretend I'm okay when Dad calls. Elon remembered that phone call. Xander had sounded tired, but he said he was fine. Just tired from playing outside all day. Another lie to protect his father. Day 52. Lost my first tooth today. Not the normal kind. A real tooth that fell out because of the medicine. Mom said it would grow back. I put it under my pillow anyway. Maybe the tooth fairy knows about sick kids. Tears fell onto the pages. Elon wiped them away quickly. He didn't want to damage his son's words. Day 67. Dad missed my baseball game again. Coach asked where he was. I lied and said he was building rockets to help people. But really, I just wanted him to see me hit my first home run. It was the only one I might ever hit. Elon remembered that day perfectly. He was in a big meeting about the Mars mission. 20 important people sat around a table talking about rockets and fuel and landing plans. It seemed so important then. More important than a little league game. How wrong he had been. Day 75. Started losing my hair today. Big chunks came out in the shower. I wore a baseball cap to school. Tommy Martinez asked why I never take it off anymore. I told him it was my lucky hat. Another lie. The image of his son losing his hair made Elon feel sick. While he was worried about rocket engines, Xander was losing pieces of himself. Day 82. The doctors say the treatments are working. The bad cells in my blood are going away. But I'm scared. What if they don't all go away? What if the sickness comes back? What if Dad never knows how much I love him? I love you too, Elon whispered to the empty room. I love you so much. Day 90, 3 months of treatments done. 6 more to go. That's what the doctor said. 6 more months of feeling sick and tired. 6 more months of lying to Dad. I don't know if I can do it. Day 98, had a really bad day. Threw up 5 times, couldn't eat anything. Mom stayed home from work to take care of me. She lost her job last week, but she won't tell Dad. She says he has enough to worry about with his rocket company. Marina lost her job. Elon felt terrible. While he was making millions of dollars, his family was struggling to pay medical bills. Day 10. Odasive watched Dad on TV again. He was talking about how rockets will help sick people by bringing medicine from space. I wanted to call him and say, Dad, there's a sick person right here who needs you. But I didn't. Elon closed his eyes. All those interviews about helping humanity. All those speeches about making the world better. And he couldn't even see that his own son needed help. Day 11-12. Good news today. The doctor says I'm getting better faster than expected. The medicine is working really well. Mom smiled for the first time in weeks. Maybe I won't need the full 9 months of treatment. Relief flooded through Elon. His son was getting better. There was hope. But the next entry made his heart sink again. Day 20 spoke too soon. The sickness is fighting back. Doctor says we need to try stronger medicine. This kind has more side effects. I might get sicker before I get better. Mom cried again. Day 35. The new medicine is really strong. I sleep most of the day now. Can't go to school anymore. Mom hired a tutor to come to the house. I told Dad I was doing a special science project at home. He seemed excited about that. Elon remembered that conversation too. He had been proud that Xander was interested in science. He had even offered to help with the project. But Xander had said he wanted to surprise him with. Now Elon understood. The surprise was that there was no science project at all. Day 43. Something scary happened today. I fainted at the grocery store with Mom. An ambulance came. People stared at us. Mom told them I hadn't eaten breakfast. But I know it was because of the sickness. I'm getting worse, not better. Day 50. Doctor says the regular treatments aren't working anymore. There's one more thing we can try, but it costs a lot of money. More money than we have. Mom looked at pictures of our old house today. I think she's going to sell it. Elon's hands were shaking so hard he could barely turn the page. Day 53. Mom sold her wedding ring yesterday. She thought I didn't notice, but I did. She said she was tired of wearing it anyway. But I saw her crying when she put it in the little box. Marina's wedding ring. She had worn it even after their divorce. She said it reminded her of when they were happy. Now she had sold it to pay for Xander's treatment. Day 56. I can't let Mom sell everything she has. I can't let her go poor trying to save me. I have to do something. Dad's company is worth billions of dollars. If something happens to me, he'll be sad, but he'll keep working. But what if I could help other kids like me? What if my sickness could do something good? Elon's heart stopped. What was Xander planning? Day 58. I wrote a letter today. It took me 3 tries to get it right. My hands shake from the medicine, so the writing looks messy. But the words are clear. I asked Dad's assistant to set up a meeting with his company's board. I have something important to ask them. A board meeting. Xander had contacted his company. Day 60. The meeting is set for tomorrow. I'm going to ask them to sell Dad's company and use all the money to build the world's best children's hospital. A place where kids like me can get help without their moms having to sell everything they own. Elon dropped the diary. Tomorrow was today. The meeting was in a few hours. Day 63. Today is the day. I know Dad will be angry when he finds out. I know he'll think I'm just a sick kid who doesn't understand business. But maybe if other kids don't have to be scared like me, it will be worth it. Maybe Dad will finally be proud of me for doing something important. Elon looked at his watch. 4:30 a.m. The board meeting was scheduled for in 5.5 hours. His sick son was going to walk into a room full of adults and ask them to sell everything Elon had worked for. Not for himself, but for other children he had never met. Elon had spent years building rockets to help humanity reach the stars, but his own son was trying to help humanity right here on Earth. And Xander thought it would make his father angry. Elon closed the diary and held it against his chest. His son wasn't just sick. His son was the bravest person he had ever known. But brave people could still die from cancer. And in a few hours, Elon would have to decide what mattered more, his dreams of space or his son's dreams of helping others. At 6 a.m., Elon called Marina. The phone rang 5 times before she answered. Elon? Her voice sounded tired and worried. What's wrong? Why are you calling so early? I need to see you, Elon said. His voice was shaking. Right now, it's about Xander. There was silence on the other end of the phone. Marina, I know, Elon whispered. He heard her sharp breath. Know what? I found his diary. The phone went quiet for a long time. Finally, Marina spoke. I'll be right over. 30 minutes later, Marina stood in Elon's living room. She looked older than he remembered. Her hair was messy. Dark circles sat under her eyes. She had lost weight. How had he not noticed? How had he been so blind? Marina saw the diary in his hands. Her face went white. How much did you read? She asked. Enough, Elon said. Enough to know that my son has leukemia. Enough to know that you've been fighting this alone for 6 months. Marina's eyes filled with tears. She sat down hard on the couch, like her legs couldn't hold her up anymore. You weren't supposed to find out this way, she said softly. I wasn't supposed to find out at all, Elon's voice got louder. My son has cancer, and you didn't think I should know. He has leukemia. Elon, Marina said. The word came out like a sob. We found out 6 months ago. Stage 2. Treatable, but serious. The word hit Elon like a truck. Leukemia. His little boy's blood was trying to kill him. Why didn't you tell me, he whispered. Marina stood up. Her sadness turned to anger. Because you're never here, she shouted. You're always working, always flying somewhere, always in meetings, always saving the world, but never saving time for your own son. Her words stung because they were true. When was the last time you came to one of his baseball games? Marina asked. When was the last time you helped him with homework? When was the last time you asked him about his day and really listened to the answer? Elon tried to think. He couldn't remember. I thought I could handle it, Marina said, wiping her eyes. The doctors said the treatment plan was good. Kids with his type of leukemia get better 80% of the time. 80%. Elon felt sick. What about the other 20%? Marina started crying harder. I didn't want to burden you. You had the Mars mission, the new rocket design, the investors. I thought you had enough stress. Stress? Elon couldn't believe what he was hearing. You thought our son having cancer would be stress. Marina, nothing matters more than him. Nothing. That's easy to say now, Marina said. But 6 months ago, when I tried to call you about his first doctor visit, you were in a meeting. When I tried to call you after his first treatment, you were on a plane to Germany. When I tried to call you when he lost his first tooth from the medicine, you were giving a speech about going to Mars. Each example felt like a punch. Elon remembered all those missed calls from Marina. He had always called her back later. Always said he was too busy to talk right then. I needed you, Marina said quietly. Xander needed you, but you weren't there. You never are. Elon sat down next to her on the couch. He wanted to argue. He wanted to say she was wrong. But she wasn't. Tell me everything, he said, from the beginning. Marina took a deep breath. It started with bruises. Xander kept getting hurt at baseball, but the bruises wouldn't go away. Then he got tired all the time, fell asleep in class. I took him to the doctor. She paused, remembering. The blood test came back wrong. Too many white blood cells. Not enough red ones. The doctor said the word, and my whole world stopped. What did the doctors say about treatment? 9 months of chemotherapy. Maybe less if he responded well. The first 3 months went great. His blood counts improved. The doctor was hopeful. But something changed, Elon said. Marina nodded. A month ago, the test showed the cancer was fighting back. The regular medicine wasn't working anymore. They want to try a new treatment, but it's experimental and expensive. How expensive? Marina looked away. $50 million. Elon's heart stopped. $50 million. No wonder Marina had been selling everything. Insurance won't cover it because it's experimental, Marina explained. I've been trying to raise the money. I sold the car. I sold my jewelry. I even started selling furniture. Marina, why didn't you just ask me for help? She laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. Ask you for help? Elon, I couldn't even get you to call me back about parent-teacher conferences. How was I supposed to ask you for $50 million? Elon felt terrible. She was right. He had been a terrible father and a terrible ex-husband. There's something else, Marina said. She looked scared. Something you don't know yet. What? The cancer is getting worse. Faster than the doctors expected. If we don't start the new treatment soon, She couldn't finish the sentence. How soon? Elon asked. 2 weeks. Maybe 3. The room felt like it was spinning. 2 weeks. His son might die in 2 weeks. But there's hope, Marina said quickly. The new treatment works well for kids like Xander. If we can get the money, there's a good chance he'll get better. I'll pay for it, Elon said immediately. Whatever it costs, I'll pay for everything. Marina shook her head. It's not that simple anymore. What do you mean? Marina pulled out her phone. She showed Elon a message from Sarah, his assistant. Your son scheduled a meeting with your board of directors. This morning, he's going to ask them to sell your company and use the money to build a children's hospital. Elon stared at the message. He had hoped maybe the diary was just Xander's imagination. Maybe it was just the dreams of a sick child. But it was real. In 4 hours, his son was going to walk into that boardroom. He doesn't know I know about the meeting, Marina said. He's been planning this for weeks. He thinks if he can't be cured, at least other kids might have a better chance. He can be cured, Elon said firmly. We'll pay for the treatment. We'll get the best doctors. We'll do whatever it takes. What if he won't let us? Marina asked. What if he's too stubborn? What if he's too much like his father? Elon understood what she meant. Xander wasn't just sick. He was determined to help others, even if it meant sacrificing himself. Just like Elon had always been determined to help humanity, even if it meant sacrificing time with his family. I have to stop him, Elon said. Stop him from what? From being brave? From caring about other people? From being the best parts of both of us? Marina stood up to leave. Elon, our son is dying. But before he dies, he wants to save other children. Are you going to stop him from being a hero because you're afraid of losing your rockets? She walked toward the door, then turned back. I'll be at the hospital with Xander in an hour. He has another treatment today. If you want to see him, if you want to finally be his father, you know where to find us. The door closed behind her, leaving Elon alone with his thoughts. In 3 hours, Xander would walk into that boardroom. He would ask grown-ups to sell everything Elon had built. He would try to turn his father's life work into hope for other sick children. And Elon still didn't know what he was going to do about it. Elon sat alone in his house for 10 minutes. Then he made a choice. He had to read the rest of Xander's diary. He had to understand what his son was really planning. He opened the diary to the last few pages, the ones he hadn't read yet. The handwriting looked shakier here. The medicine was making it harder for Xander to write. Day 56, the new treatment costs too much money. Mom tries to hide it, but I heard her on the phone with Grandma. She was crying about the bills. She said we might lose the house too. Elon's heart broke. They might lose their house? Marina hadn't told him that part. Day 58. I have an idea. It might be crazy, but it's the only way. Dad's company is worth billions of dollars. If I die, he'll be sad, but he'll keep working. He'll keep building rockets. He'll forget about me and help other people reach the stars. I would never forget you, Elon whispered to the diary. Day 60. But what if I could help people too? What if my sickness could do something good? What if instead of just one sick kid dying, we could save hundreds of sick kids living? Elon turned the page. His hands were shaking. Day 61. I wrote a letter to Dad's assistant today. Sarah seems nice when she answers the phone. I told her I was Elon Musk's son, and I needed to talk to the board of directors. I said it was about something important that could help children. Day 62. Sarah called back. She said the board would meet with me. She sounded surprised that I wanted to meet with grown-ups about business. But she said Dad always talks about helping humanity, so maybe I got that from him. Xander got more than just that from him, Elon thought. He got the need to sacrifice everything for others. Day 63, tomorrow is the big day. I practiced my speech in the mirror. My voice sounds weak from the medicine, but my words are strong. I'm going to ask them to sell Dad's company and use all the money to build the world's best children's hospital. Elon could picture his 6 sons standing in front of a mirror, practicing a speech that would give away billions of dollars. Day 64. I know Dad will be angry. I know he'll think I'm just a dumb kid who doesn't understand business. His company means everything to him. It's his dream to go to Mars. It's his dream to help humanity reach the stars. You mean everything to me, Elon said to the empty room. Day 65. But maybe Dad's real dream should be helping people right here first. Maybe we should fix Earth before we leave for Mars. Maybe helping sick kids is more important than helping healthy astronauts. The wisdom in those words hit Elon like lightning. His 12-year-old son understood something that he had missed. Day 66. I found out more about children's hospitals online. Most of them don't have enough money. Kids wait months to get treatments. Some kids die while they're waiting. If we built the best hospital in the world, we could save thousands of children. Day 67. I did math today. Dad's company is worth about $5 billion. A really good children's hospital costs about $1 billion to build. That leaves $4 billion to run it and help kids for free. We could help kids for 50 years. Even while dying, Xander was doing math to help other children. Elon felt proud and heartbroken at the same time. Day 68. Mom doesn't know about my plan. If she did, she would try to stop me. She would say I should focus on getting better, not on helping others. But I learned something from watching Dad. Sometimes you have to give up what you want to help other people get what they need. Elon realized that Xander had been watching him his whole life, learning from him. But Xander had learned the lesson better than Elon ever had. Day 69. The meeting is in 2 days. I'm scared, but not about talking to the board. I'm scared about what Dad will think of me. Will he understand? Will he be proud that I want to help people? Or will he hate me for asking him to give up his dreams? I could never hate you, Elon whispered. Day 70. Last night, I had a dream. I dreamed that Dad and I were in a rocket ship together. But instead of going to Mars, we were flying to a beautiful hospital full of happy, healthy kids. Dad looked at me and said, "This is better than Mars, Xander. This is perfect." Tears fell onto the page. Elon wiped them away carefully. Day 71. Today is the day. I'm wearing my best clothes, my baseball cap to hide my bald head. I wrote my speech on cards so I won't forget what to say. I'm going to tell them that every kid deserves a chance to grow up. Even if I don't get that chance. The diary ended there. No more entries. No more words from his brave, selfless son. Elon looked at his watch. 9:15 a.m. The meeting started in 45 minutes. He could drive to his office. He could walk into that boardroom and stop this whole thing. He could tell the board that his son was sick and not thinking clearly. He could protect his company and his dreams. Or he could let his son be the hero he wanted to be. Elon thought about everything he had built. The rockets, the cars, the satellites. All of it designed to help humanity. All of it designed to make the world better. But what if the best way to make the world better was to listen to a 12-year-old boy with cancer? What if Xander was right? What if helping sick kids on Earth was more important than sending healthy people to Mars? Elon closed the diary and held it against his heart. His son wasn't just dying. His son was trying to use his death to save other children. And Xander thought his father would be angry about it. Elon stood up. He knew what he had to do. But first he had to see his son. He had to look Xander in the eyes and tell him something important. Something he should have said months ago. He had to tell Xander that he was proud of him, not for wanting to give away billions of dollars, but for having a heart big enough to love strangers while his own heart was breaking. Elon grabbed his car keys and headed for the door. The board meeting could wait. His son couldn't. But as he reached for the door handle, his phone rang. It was Sarah, his assistant. "Mr. Musk," she said. Her voice sounded worried. "Your son is here. He's in the conference room with the board." The meeting started early. Elon's heart stopped. He was too late. Xander was already asking 20 adults to sell everything Elon had worked for. And Elon still didn't know if he was going to let him do it. Elon drove to his office faster than he had ever driven before. His hands gripped the steering wheel tight. His heart pounded in his chest. The meeting had started early. Xander was already in that room with 20 adults. His sick, brave son was asking strangers to give away his father's life work. Elon parked his car and ran into the building. He took the elevator to the top floor. Each second felt like an hour. The elevator doors opened. Elon could hear voices coming from the conference room. He walked quietly down the hall and stopped outside the door. Through the glass window he could see everything. 20 board members sat around a long table. They all wore expensive suits and serious faces. At the front of the room stood a small figure in jeans and a red baseball cap. Xander. Elon's heart broke when he saw his son. Xander looked so thin, so small. The baseball cap covered his bald head. His clothes hung loose on his tiny frame. But Xander's voice was clear and strong. "My name is Xander Musk," he was saying. "I'm 12 years old. I'm Elon Musk's son, and I have something important to ask you." The board members looked confused. Some looked worried. Sarah, Elon's assistant, sat in the corner. She looked like she might cry. "I know this is unusual," Xander continued. "Kids don't usually talk to boards of directors, but I'm not a usual kid anymore." Xander pulled off his baseball cap. His bald head shone under the bright lights. Some of the board members gasped. "I have leukemia," Xander said simply. "That's cancer of the blood. I've been getting treatments for 6 months. My mom didn't want to bother my dad with it because he's always so busy with important work." Mr. Peterson, the chairman of the board, leaned forward. "Son, where is your father? Does he know you're here?" "He doesn't know," Xander said, "and I hope he won't be too angry when he finds out." Elon pressed his face against the glass. He wanted to run into that room and hug his son. But something made him stay and listen. "My dad built this company to help people," Xander said. "He wants to take humans to Mars so we can live on other planets. That's a really good idea, but I think we should help kids here on Earth first." Xander walked to a whiteboard at the front of the room. With shaky hands, he drew a simple picture. A building with a cross on top. "This is a hospital," he said. "But not just any hospital. The best children's hospital in the world." Mrs. Chen, one of the board members, spoke up. "Xander, that's a wonderful idea. But why are you telling us this?" Xander took a deep breath. "Because I want you to sell my dad's company and use all the money to build this hospital." The room went completely silent. No one moved. No one breathed. "I know it sounds crazy," Xander said quickly. "I know Dad's company is worth billions of dollars. I know it's his whole life. But think about how many kids we could save." He turned back to the whiteboard and wrote numbers in his messy handwriting. "This company is worth $5 billion, he said. "A really good children's hospital costs $1 billion to build. That leaves $4 billion to help kids get treatments for free. We could save thousands of children." Mr. Peterson stood up. "Xander, this is a very generous idea. But your father would never agree to this. This company is his life's work." "I know," Xander said. His voice got quieter. "That's why I didn't ask him first. He would say no because he loves me too much. He would want to keep the company to pay for my treatments. Mrs. Chen had tears in her eyes. What treatments, sweetheart? There's a new medicine that might help me, Xander explained. But it costs $50 million. My mom has been selling everything we own to try to pay for it. She sold her car. She sold her jewelry. She even sold her wedding ring. Several board members looked shocked. But even if we get the money for my treatment, there are thousands of other kids who can't afford help, Xander continued. Kids who will die because their families don't have enough money. Xander sat down in a chair that was too big for him. He looked tired. I might die anyway, he said simply. Even with the new treatment, cancer is tricky that way. But if I'm going to die, I want my death to mean something. I wanted to save other kids. The room was so quiet that Elon could hear his own heartbeat. My dad always says we should think about humanity's future, Xander said. Well, humanity's future is kids like me, kids who deserve a chance to grow up and do amazing things. Mr. Peterson sat back down. Xander, what you're asking is impossible. We can't sell your father's company without his permission. I know, Xander said. That's why I'm asking you to help me convince him. Maybe if all of you think it's a good idea, he'll listen. Mrs. Chen wiped her eyes. Sweetheart, have you talked to your father about this? Xander shook his head. He doesn't even know I'm sick. Mom made me promise not to tell him. She said his work was too important to interrupt. But his son is more important than any work, said Mr. Johnson, another board member. That's what I hope, Xander said. But I'm not sure Dad knows that yet. Just then, Xander started to sway. The stress and his illness were too much. His face went pale. I don't feel so good, he whispered. Then he collapsed. Elon burst through the door as his son hit the floor. He ran to Xander and caught him in his arms. Call an ambulance, he shouted. As he held his unconscious son, Xander's eyes fluttered open. He looked up at his father with confusion. You're dead? He whispered. You came to my meeting? I came for you, Elon said, tears streaming down his face. I always come for you. As the paramedics arrived, Xander grabbed his father's hand. Dad, he whispered so quietly that only Elon could hear. There's one more thing I never told anyone. Not even in my diary. What is it? Elon asked. I'm not just doing this for other kids, Xander said. I'm doing it because I want you to be proud of me. I want you to know that your son can be a hero too. Then Xander closed his eyes and Elon's world stopped. The ambulance ride felt like the longest 10 minutes of Elon's life. He held Xander's small hand while the paramedics checked his heartbeat and blood pressure. He's stable, one paramedic said, but his body is very weak. The stress probably caused him to faint. Elon looked down at his son. Even unconscious, Xander looked peaceful. Like he had finally told the truth he had been carrying for so long. At the hospital, doctors rushed Xander into a room. Elon followed, refusing to let go of his son's hand. Are you the father? Asked Dr. Williams, a kind woman with grey hair. Yes, Elon said. I'm Elon Musk. Dr. Williams looked surprised. Mr. Musk, I've been treating your son for 6 months. I expected to meet you much sooner. The words hit Elon like a slap. Even the doctors had noticed his absence. I didn't know, Elon said quietly. I didn't know he was sick. Dr. Williams' expression softened. Your wife explained that you were very busy with work. She wanted to handle this alone. She's not my wife anymore, Elon said. But that's no excuse. I should have been here. 2 hours later, Xander's eyes slowly opened. The room was quiet except for the beeping of machines. Afternoon sunlight came through the window. Dad? Xander whispered. His voice sounded like sandpaper. I'm here, Elon said. He was sitting in a chair next to the bed, still holding Xander's hand. I'm right here. Xander looked around the room. Am I in the hospital? You fainted at the meeting, Elon explained. You scared everyone. Xander's eyes went wide. The meeting. Dad, you came to my meeting? I read your diary, Elon said gently. I know about everything. The cancer, the treatments, the money problems. All of it. Xander looked scared. Are you angry? Elon felt his heart break all over again. His son was lying in a hospital bed, and he was worried about making his father angry. No, Elon said, tears filling his eyes. I'm not angry, I'm proud of you. Proud? Xander looked confused. You're the bravest person I've ever met, Elon said. Braver than any astronaut. Braver than any soldier. You're fighting cancer and still trying to help other kids. Xander started to cry. I didn't want you to know I was sick. Mom said you had too much important work to do. Nothing is more important than you, Elon said firmly. Nothing. Not rockets. Not Mars. Not any of it. But your company, Xander started, is just a company, Elon finished. You are my son. You are the most important thing in my entire world. Xander cried harder. I thought you loved your rockets more than me. Elon climbed onto the hospital bed and held his son close. I love you more than anything that has ever existed or ever will exist. I'm sorry I didn't show you that before. They held each other and cried. Father and son, finally being honest about everything. After a few minutes, Dr. Williams came into the room. She looked serious. Mr. Musk, she said, we need to talk about Xander's treatment options. Elon sat up but kept holding Xander's hand. Tell me everything. The standard treatments aren't working anymore, Dr. Williams explained. Xander's cancer is what we call resistant. It's fighting back against the medicine. What does that mean? Elon asked, though he was afraid of the answer. It means we need to try something stronger. There's an experimental treatment that has shown good results with cases like Xander's. What kind of results? Xander asked. His voice was small but brave. About 70% of children with your condition get completely better, Dr. Williams said. But it's risky and expensive. How expensive? Elon asked, though he already knew from the diary. About $50 million for the full treatment, Dr. Williams said. Elon didn't hesitate. Do it. Start today. But Xander shook his head. No, Dad. What do you mean, no? Elon asked. Use that money for the hospital instead, Xander said. Help other kids. Elon stared at his son. Even now, even while dying, Xander was thinking about other children. Xander, we're going to save you first. Then we'll help other kids. But what if the treatment doesn't work? Xander asked. What if I die anyway? Then that $50 million is wasted and other kids don't get help. Dr. Williams cleared her throat. Actually, there's something else we need to discuss. Both Elon and Xander looked at her. What is it? Elon asked. Dr. Williams sat down. There's a research study happening right now. Scientists are testing a new type of treatment that could help thousands of children with cancer. What kind of treatment? Xander asked. It uses the body's own immune system to fight cancer. Early results are very promising, but the research needs funding to continue. How much funding? Elon asked. About $200 million to complete all the trials and make the treatment available to everyone. Elon felt the weight of the choice. $50 million to try to save his son now, or $200 million to potentially save thousands of children later. How long would the research take? He asked. 2 years, Dr. Williams said quietly. Xander spoke up. I might not have 2 years. We don't know that, Elon said quickly. Dad, Xander said, taking his father's hand. What if there's a kid out there right now who's just like me? What if their mom is selling her wedding ring too? What if we could save them all? Elon looked at his brave, selfless son. Xander was asking him to choose between saving one life and saving thousands. But there was something else Dr. Williams hadn't told them yet. Something that would make this choice even harder. There's one more thing, Dr. Williams said. Something that changes everything. Dr. Williams looked at both Elon and Xander. Her face was serious, but there was something hopeful in her eyes. What is it? Elon asked. His heart was beating fast. The research I mentioned, Dr. Williams said. It's not just any research. It's being led by Dr. Sarah Chen at Johns Hopkins. She's the best pediatric cancer researcher in the world. Xander sat up straighter in his bed. What makes her special? She's developed a treatment that could work for Xander right now, Dr. Williams explained. Not in 2 years. Right. Elon felt hope rise in his chest. What do you mean? Dr. Chen has been working with a small group of children in a special trial. The treatment uses something called CAR T-cell therapy. It programs the patient's own immune cells to fight the cancer. Has it worked? Xander asked. Dr. Williams smiled for the first time that day. In the 12 children who have tried it, 11 are now completely cancer-free. Elon's heart jumped. 11 out of 12? Those are amazing odds. But, Dr. Williams continued, Dr. Chen's program is running out of money. Without more funding, she'll have to stop the research. No more children will get the treatment. Elon understood. This was the choice he had to make. How much money does she need? He asked. $50 million to treat Xander and 5 other children who are waiting. $200 million to expand the program and help hundreds of children over the next 5 years. Xander looked at his father. Dad, that's exactly what I wanted. We could help me and lots of other kids too. But Elon saw something in Dr. Williams' eyes, something she wasn't saying yet. What's the catch? He asked. Dr. Williams sighed. The treatment has to happen soon. Very soon. Xander's cancer is spreading faster than we expected. If we don't start the treatment in the next week, it might be too late. Then we start next week, Elon said immediately. It's not that simple, Dr. Williams said. Dr. Chen only has enough resources to treat one more child right now. If she treats Xander, the other child on the waiting list will have to wait 2 more months for funding. Elon felt like the room was spinning. Save his son, or save another child. What other child? Xander asked quietly. Dr. Williams hesitated. A 7-year-old girl named Emma. She has the same type of cancer as you. Her family can't afford any treatment. She's been waiting for 3 months. Xander was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke. How long does Emma have without treatment? About the same as you, Dr. Williams said softly. Maybe less. Elon watched his son's face. He could see Xander thinking hard. Dad, Xander said finally, I want you to give the money to Dr. Chen. All of it. The 200 million. Xander? No, Elon said. We'll find another way to help the other children. Right now we focus on saving you. But Dad, Xander said, what if there isn't another way? What if this is the only chance to help hundreds of kids? Elon felt torn in half. Everything inside him screamed to save his son first. But he could see the determination in Xander's eyes. There's something else, Dr. Williams said. Something you should know about Dr. Chen's research. What? Elon asked. If we fund the full program, Dr. Chen believes she can improve the treatment. Make it work for even more children. She thinks she can get the success rate from 90% to 98%. That's incredible, Xander said. Think about how many kids that could save. But Elon was thinking about something else. What about Emma, the 7-year-old? If you fund the full program, Dr. Chen can treat both Xander and Emma immediately. Plus 3 other children who are waiting. Elon felt a spark of hope. Both of them? Yes. The 200 million would be enough to treat 5 children right away and set up the program to help hundreds more. Xander grabbed his father's hand. Dad, this is perfect. We can save Emma and me and lots of other kids. But Elon was still worried. What if the treatment doesn't work? What if we lose you anyway? Xander looked at his father with eyes that seemed much older than 12. Dad, do you remember what you always say about going to Mars? What do you mean? You always say that even if the first mission fails, it's worth trying, because it helps future missions succeed. You say that's how we help humanity. Elon nodded. That was exactly what he always said. Well, Xander continued, even if the treatment doesn't work for me, it might work for Emma, and it might help Dr. Chen learn how to make it work better for other kids. Marina walked into the room just then. She had been crying. I heard about the meeting, she said to Xander. The whole board called me. They're all amazed by what you tried to do. She looked at Elon. They also said something else. They said they've never seen you look at anything the way you looked at Xander when he collapsed. What do you mean? Elon asked. They said you looked at him like he was your whole world. Elon felt tears in his eyes. He is my whole world. Marina sat down on the other side of Xander's bed. So what do we do now? Elon looked at his brave son. Then he looked at Dr. Williams. Tell me exactly what Dr. Chen needs, he said. $200 million to fund the complete research program. Treatment for 5 children immediately, including Xander. And support for hundreds more children over the next 5 years. Elon thought about his company. $5 billion. He could fund this program and still have money left over for other projects. But this wasn't about money anymore. This was about what kind of father he wanted to be, what kind of man he wanted to be. There's one condition, Elon said. What? Dr. Williams asked. I want to meet Emma and her family. I want to look them in the eye and promise them that we're going to save their daughter too. Xander smiled bigger than he had smiled in months. Dad, does this mean? It means we're going to save you and Emma and as many children as we can, Elon said. It means you're not just my hero, you're going to be a hero to hundreds of families. But Dr. Williams held up her hand. There's one more thing I need to tell you. Something about the treatment that you should know before you decide. Elon's heart sank. What now? Elon's heart was beating so hard he could hear it in his ears. What else do I need to know? Dr. Williams sat down in the chair across from them. The treatment I described is real. Dr. Chen's research is real. But there's something about the timing that's unusual. Unusual how? Marina asked. She had moved closer to Xander's bed. Dr. Chen called me this morning, Dr. Williams said. Right after she heard about Xander's board meeting. Elon felt confused. How did she hear about that? Sarah, your assistant, called several reporters after the meeting. The story is already on the news. 12-year-old boy asks dad to sell company to save sick children. Xander's eyes went wide. People know about me? Dr. Williams pulled out her phone and showed them a news website. The headline was exactly what she had said. Below it was a picture of Xander from his last baseball game. The story went viral an hour ago, Dr. Williams said. People all over the world are talking about what you tried to do. Elon read over her shoulder. The article talked about Xander's brave speech. It mentioned his cancer. It told the whole story of a sick boy who wanted to help other sick children. But that's not the unusual part, Dr. Williams continued. What is? Xander asked. Dr. Chen saw the story. She immediately called me and said something interesting. She said she's been waiting her whole career to meet a child like you. What does that mean? Marina asked. Dr. Williams smiled. Dr. Chen started her research because she was a sick child once too. She had leukemia when she was 11 years old. Back then, there weren't good treatments. She almost died. Elon felt goosebumps on his arms. She became a doctor to help other children like herself. She's been working on this treatment for 20 years. But she told me that funding has always been the problem, until today. Today? Elon asked. Dr. Williams looked at her phone again. After your son's story went public, something amazing happened. People started donating money. She showed them another website. It was a fundraising page that someone had created. Help Xander build his dream hospital, the page said. Below that were hundreds of donations, some for $5, some for $50, some for thousands of dollars. How much have people donated? Xander asked. In the last 2 hours, Dr. Williams said. $4 million. The room went silent. $4 million? Marina whispered. And it's growing every minute, Dr. Williams said. But that's still not the most unusual part. Elon was getting impatient. What is the most unusual part? 10 minutes ago, I got a call from someone who wants to remain anonymous. They read Xander's story and want to donate $50 million. Elon's jaw dropped. 50 million who? They won't say, but they left a message. Dr. Williams read from her phone. Every child deserves a hero, especially one who tries to be a hero for others. Xander started crying. Someone I don't even know wants to help me. Not just help you, Dr. Williams said. Help your dream. The anonymous donor specifically said the money should go to Dr. Chen's research and to building the children's hospital you talked about. Elon felt overwhelmed. So the treatment is already funded. Better than that, Dr. Williams said. Dr. Chen called again 5 minutes ago. She said if the donations keep growing like this, she can expand her research even more. She thinks she can help 1,000 children in the next 5 years. Xander wiped his eyes. 1,000 kids? Maybe more, Dr. Williams said. Your story has inspired people all over the world. They want to help make your dream come true. Marina was crying now too. Xander, do you understand what you've done? You didn't just ask your dad to sell his company. You've gotten the whole world to care about sick children. But Elon was still thinking about something. Who is the anonymous donor? $50 million is a lot of money. Most people don't have that much to give away. Dr. Williams shrugged. They wouldn't tell me, but they did say one more thing. What? They said they understand what it's like to be a child fighting for their life, and they understand what it's like to have hope when everything seems hopeless. Xander sat up straighter in his bed. Dad, does this mean I don't have to ask you to sell your company? Elon laughed and cried at the same time. It means your idea was so good that other people wanted to help make it happen. But I still want you to help too. Xander said, even if other people are paying for my treatment, we could still build the hospital together. We're going to build the best children's hospital in the world, Elon promised. And we're going to call it exactly what the website says, Xander's Dream Hospital. Dr. Williams stood up. I need to call Dr. Chen back. She wants to start your treatment as soon as possible. What about Emma? Xander asked. The 7-year-old girl. Dr. Chen can treat both of you at the same time now, thanks to all these donations. After Dr. Williams left, the family sat together in the quiet hospital room. Xander, Elon said, I need to tell you something. What, Dad? When I read your diary, I thought you were the bravest person I'd ever met. But now I know something else. What? You're not just brave, you're a leader. You made the whole world care about something important. Xander smiled. I learned that from watching you, Dad. You always say that one person can change everything if they care enough. But you did something I never could, Elon said. What's that? You made people care about helping others instead of just being impressed by cool technology. Marina laughed. Maybe that's because he's 12 and still believes the most important thing is helping people who are hurt. Elon nodded. Maybe 12-year-olds are smarter than adults sometimes. Speaking of being 12, Xander said with a grin that looked like his old self, I have one more secret to tell you. Another secret? Marina asked. Xander's grin got bigger. I might have been wrong about something. What? Elon asked, I said in my diary that rocket ships were more important to you than me. That was never true, Elon said firmly. I know that now, Xander said, but I also figured out something else. What? Maybe rocket ships and helping sick kids aren't opposites. Maybe they're both ways of helping people. Maybe we can do both. Elon stared at his son. Even after everything, Xander was still thinking about the future, still believing that big dreams were possible. What are you thinking? Elon asked. Xander's eyes lit up with excitement. What if someday, when there are people living on Mars, some of them get sick? They'll need hospitals there too. Elon felt his heart fill with pride and love. His son wasn't just thinking about saving children on Earth. He was thinking about saving children everywhere humans might go. So you want to build hospitals on Mars? Elon asked. I want to build them everywhere, Xander said. Earth, Mars, maybe even further than that. I want to make sure no kid anywhere in the universe has to be scared when they get sick. As Elon listened to his son dream about the future, he realized something important. Xander hadn't asked him to choose between rockets and hospitals. He had helped him understand that they were both part of the same mission. The mission to help humanity. All of it. Everywhere. 2 hours later, Dr. Williams came back into the room. Her face was glowing with excitement. I have incredible news, she said. What now? Marina asked. The day had already been full of surprises. The donations haven't stopped, Dr. Williams said. In fact, they've gotten much bigger. She showed them her tablet. The fundraising website now showed a number that made everyone's eyes go wide. $150 million, Xander read out loud. In 4 hours? People are sharing your story everywhere, Dr. Williams explained. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, the news. Everyone wants to help make your hospital dream come true. Elon shook his head in amazement. This is incredible. But that's not the best part, Dr. Williams continued. I just got off the phone with Dr. Chen. She says with this much funding she can do something amazing. What? Xander asked. She can start treating children immediately. Not just you and Emma. 20 children. All of them on the waiting list. Xander's face lit up. 20 kids? And that's just the beginning, Dr. Williams said. She thinks she can help 200 children in the first year alone. Marina wiped happy tears from her eyes. Xander, do you understand what you've done? But before Xander could answer, Dr. Williams' phone rang. Dr. Williams, speaking, she answered. Everyone watched as her expression changed from happy to shocked to amazed. Are you sure? She asked into the phone. Yes, I understand. Yes, I'll tell them right away. She hung up and stared at the family. Who was that? Elon asked. The hospital administrator, Dr. Williams said slowly. Someone else just called. Someone who wants to make an even bigger donation. Bigger than 50 million? Xander asked. Much bigger, Dr. Williams said. This person wants to donate $500 million. The room went completely silent. $500 million was more money than Xander had even dreamed about. Who is it? Marina whispered. Still anonymous, Dr. Williams said. But this time, they left a longer message. She pulled out a piece of paper and read, 50 years ago, I was a 12-year-old boy in a hospital bed, just like Xander. I had leukemia. My family had no money for treatments. I wasn't expected to live. Elon felt goosebumps on his arms again. Dr. Williams continued reading. But I had a dream. I dreamed of becoming a doctor so I could help other children like me. I worked hard, studied hard, and became one of the best cancer doctors in the world. I spent my whole life creating new treatments and saving children. Xander was listening with wide eyes. I also made a lot of money from my medical inventions. I saved that money for 50 years, waiting for the right moment to use it. When I saw Xander's story today, I knew this was that moment. Dr. Williams looked up from the paper. There's more. You see, Xander reminded me of something I learned as a sick child. The bravest thing anyone can do is think of others when they're afraid. The kindest thing anyone can do is turn their pain into hope for someone else. Tears were falling down everyone's faces now. Dr. Williams kept reading. Xander, you have shown the world what real courage looks like. You have reminded us all that helping others is the most important job any human can have. Your father should be very proud of you. Elon was crying so hard he could barely breathe. I never had a father who would have moved mountains to save me like yours is doing for you. Your story shows the world what real love looks like. That's worth more than all the money in the universe. Dr. Williams folded the paper. It's signed, Dr. James Harrison. Dr. James Harrison. Elon repeated. The Dr. Harrison who invented the new leukemia drugs. You know him? Dr. Williams asked. He's famous, Elon said. He saved thousands of children over the years. He's one of the most respected doctors in the world. Xander looked confused. Why would someone so important care about me? Dr. Williams smiled. Because he was you 50 years ago. A scared little boy who didn't think he would live to grow up. And now he wants to help me. Xander asked. He wants to help you and thousands of other children, Dr. Williams said. With $500 million, we can build not just one hospital, but 5 hospitals in different parts of the world. Xander's eyes went wide. 5 hospitals? The Xander Harrison Foundation for Children's Cancer Research, Dr. Williams read from another paper. That's what Dr. Harrison wants to call it. He wants to put my name on it too. Xander asked. He says you inspired him to finally use the money he's been saving. He says you reminded him why he became a doctor in the first place. Elon looked at his son with amazement. In one day, Xander had inspired the whole world. He had gotten strangers to donate millions of dollars. And now he had convinced one of the world's best doctors to give away his life savings. Dad, Xander said quietly. Does this mean we really can help lots of kids? It means we can help more kids than we ever imagined, Elon said. Marina was shaking her head in wonder. Xander, you started this morning thinking you might have to ask your dad to sell his company. Now you've raised more money than most companies are worth. But there's one more surprise, Dr. Williams said. More? Elon asked. Dr. Williams grinned. Dr. Harrison wants to meet you. All of you. He's flying here tonight. Tonight? Xander asked. He said he's waited 50 years to meet someone like you, Xander. He doesn't want to wait one more day. Xander looked at his parents. Is this really happening? It's happening because you made it happen, Elon said. You taught the world something important today. What did I teach them? You taught them that one person really can change everything, Marina said. You taught them that kids can be heroes too. And you taught your dad something very important, Elon added. What's that? You taught me that the most important mission isn't getting to Mars, Elon said. It's being right here with the people who love you. It's helping the people who need you most. Xander smiled. But Dad, we can still go to Mars someday, and when we do, we'll make sure there are hospitals there for any kids who might get sick. Elon laughed and hugged his son. That sounds like the perfect plan. As the sun set outside the hospital window, Elon thought about how the day had started. He had been alone in his office, worried about rockets and meetings. Now he was in a hospital room with his family, planning to save thousands of children around the world. All because his brave son had written his feelings in a diary and never gave up hope. All because Xander had taught him that the greatest adventure wasn't in space. It was right here, in moments like this, with the people who mattered most. 3 months later, Xander stood on a stage in front of 500 people. His hair had grown back thick and curly. His cheeks were pink and healthy. The experimental treatment had worked perfectly. Today was the groundbreaking ceremony for the first Xander Harrison Children's Hospital. People had come from all over the world to watch them break ground. Xander wore a small hard hat that matched his father's. Marina stood next to them, smiling bigger than she had in a year. "Ladies and gentlemen," the announcer said, "please welcome Dr. James Harrison." An elderly man with kind eyes and grey hair walked onto the stage. The crowd cheered loudly. Dr. Harrison was a hero to many families whose children he had saved. But today, he was here to honor a different kind of hero. 3 months ago, Dr. Harrison said into the microphone, "I read a story that changed my life. It was about a 12-year-old boy who was willing to give up everything to help other children." He looked at Xander and smiled. "That boy reminded me why I became a doctor. He reminded me that the greatest gift we can give is hope to someone who has lost it." Dr. Harrison pulled out a tablet and showed it to the crowd. "I want to share some numbers with you," he said. "In the past 3 months, because of Xander's story, amazing things have happened." He read from the screen. 22 children have received the new CAR-T treatment. 21 of them are now cancer-free. The crowd cheered. 137 children have received other treatments they couldn't afford before, all because people donated money after hearing Xander's story. More cheers. And today we break ground on the first of 5 hospitals that will help thousands of children for years to come. The applause was so loud that Xander had to cover his ears. Dr. Harrison waited for quiet, then continued. "But numbers don't tell the whole story. Let me tell you about Emma." He gestured to the front row, where a small girl with pigtails sat with her parents. Emma is 7 years old. 3 months ago, she was dying of the same cancer that Xander had. She was on a waiting list for treatment her family couldn't afford. Emma waved at the crowd. She looked healthy and happy. Today, Emma is cancer-free. She starts 2nd grade next week. She wants to be a doctor when she grows up so she can help other sick children. Emma stood up and hugged Dr. Harrison. There wasn't a dry eye in the crowd. "That's what Xander's courage made possible," Dr. Harrison said. "Not just his own healing, but Emma's healing, and the healing of dozens of other children." Now it was Xander's turn to speak. He walked to the microphone, still a little nervous about talking to so many people. "Hi everyone," he said. His voice was stronger now than it had been in the hospital. 3 months ago, I was really sick and really scared. I thought my dad cared more about rockets than about me. I thought I was gonna die and nobody would remember me." He looked at his father in the front row. "But I learned something important. Sometimes the scariest moments in our lives teach us the most important lessons." Xander pulled out a piece of paper. It was a page from his old diary. "I wrote this when I was sickest. Dad doesn't know I'm sick. His rocket ships are more important than me." He folded the paper and put it away. "I was wrong about that. My dad's rockets aren't more important than me, but I also learned something else. Helping people isn't about choosing between rockets and hospitals. It's about using everything we have to make life better for everyone." The crowd was completely quiet, listening to every word. Dr. Harrison told me that when he was 12 and sick like me, he had a dream. He dreamed of becoming a doctor to help other kids. That dream kept him alive. Xander's voice got stronger. "Well, I have a dream too. I dream of a world where no kid has to be scared when they get sick. I dream of hospitals on Earth and on Mars and anywhere else people might live someday." He pointed to his father. "My dad taught me that big dreams are worth fighting for. He taught me that one person really can change the world. But I taught him something too." "What's that?" someone in the crowd called out. Xander grinned. "I taught him that the most important world to change is the one right in front of you. The world where your family lives. The world where kids need help right now." Elon stood up and joined his son at the microphone. 3 months ago, I thought success meant building rockets that could reach Mars," Elon said. Today I know that success means raising a son who wants to help everyone reach their dreams. He put his arm around Xander. My son didn't just beat cancer. He beat the idea that one person can't make a difference. He proved that kids can be heroes. He proved that the bravest thing you can do is care about other people when you're scared for yourself. Marina joined them on stage too.
As Xander's mom, I want to say something to all the parents here, she said. Sometimes we think we need to protect our children from big problems, but Xander taught me that children often understand the most important things better than adults do.
She hugged Xander tight. They understand that helping others isn't a burden. It's a privilege. They understand that sharing your story can change the world. Dr. Harrison came back to the microphone. Before we break ground, I have one more surprise, he said. He pulled out an envelope. This morning I got a call from the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, he said. The crowd gasped. They wanted me to tell Xander that he's been nominated for next year's prize. At 12 years old, he would be the youngest nominee in history. Xander's mouth fell open. Really? Really, Dr. Harrison said. The committee said your story shows that peace isn't just about stopping wars. It's about bringing hope to people who have lost it. It's about building bridges between strangers who care about the same things. The crowd stood up and cheered so loudly that birds flew out of nearby trees. But Xander wasn't thinking about prizes. He was thinking about something else. Dr. Harrison, he said into the microphone, can I ask you something? Of course. When you were 12 and sick like me, did you ever think you'd be here today, helping build hospitals and saving kids? Dr. Harrison's eyes filled with tears. No, Xander. When I was 12, I was too scared to imagine living to be 13. But you did live, Xander said. And you helped thousands of kids. That gives me an idea. What kind of idea? Xander looked out at the crowd of families, doctors and reporters. What if we don't just build hospitals? What if we build something else too? What? Dr. Harrison asked. A school. A special school where kids who beat cancer can learn to become doctors and scientists and engineers. Where they can learn to help other kids like we're helping today. The crowd erupted in cheers again. Elon looked at his son with amazement. Even now, even after everything, Xander was still thinking about the future. Still believing that today's scared children could become tomorrow's heroes. That's the best idea I've ever heard, Dr. Harrison said. As they picked up golden shovels to break ground for the hospital, Xander whispered something to his father. What did you say? Elon asked. I said thank you. For what? For reading my diary. For caring enough to find out the truth. For showing me that dads and sons can be heroes together. Elon felt tears in his eyes as they pushed their shovels into the ground. 6 months ago, he had been alone in his office, building rockets to help humanity reach the stars. Today, he was standing next to his son, building hospitals to help humanity heal on Earth. Both dreams were important. Both dreams were worth fighting for. But the most important dream was the one they were building together. As the crowd cheered and cameras flashed, Elon thought about the diary that had changed everything. The small leather book filled with a child's honest words about fear and hope and love. He thought about how close he had come to missing the most important story of his life. The story of his son's incredible heart. Later that night, Xander wrote in a new diary, Day 1 of my new life. Today, Dad and I broke ground on a hospital that will help thousands of kids. Dr. Harrison says I might win the Nobel Peace Prize. But the best prize is knowing that Dad finally understands what I learned when I was sick. The biggest adventures aren't about going to faraway places. They're about helping the people right next to you. They're about turning your worst moments into hope for someone else. Dad says we're still going to Mars someday. But first, we're going to make sure every kid on Earth has a chance to dream about going with us. I can't wait for our next adventure together. Elon found the diary on Xander's desk the next morning. This time, Xander had left it open on purpose. This time it ended with hope. And this time, Elon knew that the greatest discoveries aren't made in space. They're made in the pages of a child's diary, where love and courage live together, waiting to change the world. That's how a father's love and a son's courage changed everything. Xander taught us that real heroes don't just save the day, they save each other. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and let me know in the comments where you're listening from. I love hearing from all of you around the world. Don't forget to subscribe to spread more kindness and hope to everyone who needs it. Your support helps us share stories that matter. And if you want to keep the inspiration going, click on the video appearing on your screen right now for another incredible story of love and courage. Until next time, remember, sometimes the greatest adventures happen right at home.